Television violence and child aggression and bullying. As an introduction, I will say that television violence plays a major role in childhood aggression and bullying. Parents may be unaware of the effects of television violence on their children. It is common knowledge that children spend too much time watching television, regardless of whether the programs are educational or not. And there are some changes that need to be made in order to improve these effects that are shown in children. So, how much time is too much time spent watching television? Statistics show that children 5 to 6 years old spend an average of 6.5 hours a day in front of a screen. Now, this can be tablets, computers, smartphones, and even the television. But specifically, children spend at least 4 hours a day just watching television, and that is honestly too much time. Some of the effects that we see in children that spend too much time watching television and viewing violent content would be physical aggression, verbal aggression, relational aggression, proactive aggression, meaning they become cold and calculated, and reactive aggression, which means they become hot and explosive. One question we can definitely visit would be whether or not cartoons contain violence. And this is an obvious answer. If we actually are viewing some cartoons, we'll see that there is a large amount of violence seen in cartoons. Cartoons do send a violent message to children, and they leave an impression on children, causing them to want to mimic the actions that they see in the cartoons. And a lot of times with younger children, they tend to want to pretend or mimic their favorite character. In this case, if there's violent content, then they'll demonstrate those same violent actions. So, what does research say about all of this? Even the most brief amount of time spent watching television could cause some serious effects, such as desensitization to real world violence, an increase in aggressive feelings, thoughts, and behaviors, and a decrease in empathy and helping behavior. Some ways that we can change these effects would be first to understand that parents are the key to any changes happening. Parents need to begin to monitoring their children and the amount of time that they actually spend watching television. They also need to monitor the content and the types of shows that their children are watching. Even with cartoons, there are certain cartoons that are inappropriate for younger children. So parents should be more aware of these types of shows. Also, parents should encourage their children to participate in more activities outside of the home and away from the television, like physical exercise and reading books or, playing with children. These are great ideas to actually pull the children away from the television. So, to sum everything up, parents need to be more aware of the effects that violent television content has on their children. If a child is constantly watching violent television programs and viewing a lot of violence, they are more likely to mimic these behaviors. One thing we know is that children do learn from what they see and hear. So the more violence that they are exposed to, the more likely they are to demonstrate those behaviors. But the key is that simple changes to a child's media diet can change and greatly improve a child's behavior. It's all up to us parents to make sure that we are keeping our children away from violent content and being more aware of what's going on. Thank you.